Kiswa Tul Kaaba presents the history of Islam. Our first book is the Caliphate of Banu Ummayah, taken from Al-Bidayah wan-Nihayah and explained in episodes. We hope you like our effort. Please like, subscribe, and comment on our video. The rule of Muawiyah bin Abu Sufyan, may Allah be pleased with him. The first monarchy began with the rule of Muawiyah, making him the first king of Islam and the best of them all. It is reported that Muawiyah bin Jabal and Abu Ubaidah said that the Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, "This affair began as mercy and prophecy. Then it will be a mercy and caliphate. Then as a matter of domination and tribulation. Then as an insolent, fatalistic, and corruptive matter in the land by which silk, fornication, adultery, and alcohol is regarded as acceptable and lawful. Eventually, these corruptive things will become a means of sustenance and victory for them until they meet with Allah." The majestic Amr bin Yahya bin Sa'id bin Al-As reported by his grandfather. Sa'id said, "The Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, once looked at Muawiyah and said, 'O Muawiyah, if you get to rule then fear Allah and be just to the people.' Muawiyah said, due to that statement of the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, I was convinced that one would one day be held accountable for undertaking the task of the Caliphate." Abu Darda is reported to have said that the Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, "While I was sleeping, one dreamt that the book was taken away from beneath my pillow. One thought that I had lost my mind and so I followed it. Whereupon I saw that it was being taken to Ash-Sham, the Levant. Indeed, in times of trial and tribulation, faith will remain in Ash-Sham." The merits of Muawiyah bin Abi Sufyan, may Allah be pleased with him. His name was Muawiyah bin Abi Sufyan Sakhr bin Harb, Abu Abdurrahman al-Qurashi al-Umawi. Muawiyah, his father, and his mother, Hind bint Utbah bin Rabi'ah bin Abd Shams, embraced Islam on the day of the conquest. His father was among the nobles of Quraysh in Jahiliyyah, that is the pre-Islamic era of ignorance, as a high-ranking chief possessing a vast amount of wealth. Upon Abi Sufyan's submission to Islam, he said to the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, "O Prophet of Allah, give me three things." The Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, "Yes." He said, "I have the best and most beautiful woman of all the Arabs, my daughter, Habiba bint Abi Sufyan. Will I give her to you in marriage?" The Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, "Yes." He said, "Make Muawiyah your scribe." The Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, "Yes." He said, "And appoint me as a commander so that I can fight the kuffar, disbelievers, as I used to fight the Muslims." The Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, "Yes." This implies that Muawiyah would later record down the revelations received by the Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, along with the other scribes of revelation, may Allah be pleased with them. When Ash-Sham, the Levant, was conquered, Umar deputed Muawiyah to Damascus after his brother, Yazid bin Abi Sufyan, and he continued to have authority over it under Uthman bin Affan, who further extended his authority to include another country. It was Muawiyah who built the Qubbat al-Qadra, the Green Dome, in Damascus, where he lived for 40 years. Muawiyah appointed Fadallah bin Ubayd as the judge for Ash-Sham, the Levant, followed by Abu Idris al-Kalani, and as the chief of law enforcement, he appointed Qays bin Hamza. His scribe and protector was Sarjun bin Mansur ar-Rumi, about whom it is said, he was the first to employ an entourage, the first to inscribe mass, that is produce and bind books. And he was the first statesman of his kind, may Allah be pleased with him. The emergence of a sect of al-Khawarij, dissenters. When Muawiyah entered al-Kufa and al-Hassan and his family left and headed to the Hijaz. The Khawarij, a sect of dissenters claimed to number around 500 individuals, said, "There is no doubt that Muawiyah is coming. Upon which they proceeded to Al-Kufa under the commandership of Farwa bin Nawfal to wage war against him. Muawiyah, therefore, dispatched a cavalry detachment comprised of the people of Asham against them, and due to this, the Khawarij army subsequently launched a relentless attack against its people that forced them out of their land. As a result, Muawiyah said to the people of Al-Kufa, "I will not make peace with you until you desist from your calamity." So, they went to the Khawarij, who said to them, "Woe unto you for what you seek to attain. Is Muawiyah not your enemy and our enemy? He has prompted us to fight against him. If we beat him, then we have relieved you of him, and if he beats us, then you have been relieved of us." At this, they said, "No, by Allah, not until we fight against you ourselves." At that point, the Khawarij said, "May Allah have mercy on our brothers from the people of Anar, for they knew better than you do, O people of Al-Kufa." It follows that a battle broke out between the two sides, which resulted in the people of Al-Kufa defeating the Khawarij and expelling them from the land. It was in this year that Humran bin Aban ambushed Ai Basra, which he managed to besiege and dominate, forcing Muawiyah to dispatch an army to kill him and his faction. Following this, Abu Bakr Thaqafi went to Muawiyah to request his pardon on their behalf, which Muawiyah granted them and released them. He subsequently appointed Busr bin Abi Ardat as governor of al-Basra towards the end of this year. However, Muawiyah put Abdullah bin Amir in charge of al-Was Basra, even though he had intended to appoint Utbah bin Abi Sufyan. The reason for this was that Ibn Amir told him, "I possess great wealth and trusts, which, if you do not put me in charge of them, will perish." Thus, he fulfilled his request in that matter and entrusted him with the position. Amongst the prominent people who died this year, Rifa'ah bin Raf bin Malik bin Ajlan, who was present at Al-Aqaba, the Battle of Badr and the events following it. Rukana bin Abd Yazid bin Hashim bin Muttalib al-Qurashi, who was the one whom the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, had wrestled with and thrown to the ground. Despite Rukana being considered one of the strongest men among the Quraysh, this wrestling of Rukana to the ground, in fact, constitutes one of the miracles of the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him. He embraced Islam in the year of the conquest. Safwan bin Umayyah, Abu Wab al-Qurashi, who fled from the Messenger, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, on the day of the conquest. He later returned and submitted to Islam, and later bettered himself to the point of becoming a noble amongst the Muslims, just as he had been during Jahiliyyah, ignorance, the pre-Islamic era. Uthman bin Talha bin Abi Talha entered Islam at the beginning of the 8th year, just before the conquest. He was the one from whom the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, had taken the key to the Kaaba, the most sacred site in Islam situated in Mecca, in the year of the conquest. However, he returned them to him reciting the words of Allah, the Sublime, which means, "Verily, Allah commands that you should render haq the trusts to those to whom they are due in Nisaf 458. The Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, therefore said to him, "Take it, O Uthman, permanently and rightfully, for it will not be taken out of your possession except by an oppressor." Amr bin al-Aswad al-Ansi was a humble and devout worshipper. Attika bin Zaid bin Amr bin Nufail bin Abdul Uzza, who was the sister of Sa'id bin Zaid, one of the 10 promised paradise. She embraced Islam, performed the migration, and was one of the finest women and worshippers of her time. Dear viewer, thanks for watching and listening. This is the end of the episode. Please comment for the betterment. Soon we will release another episode.